My name is Don Walker, and I was a teacher here for 25 years. I taught English, taught media, taught some religion. I was vice principal here. And I love books, and I love teaching literature and talking about books. And even in my retirement, that continues. So the book that I have is Alistair MacLeod's book, No Great Mischief. And he comes from a part of the world where my family comes from, and that's Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Now, I was born in Toronto, but I spent all my summers working on a dairy farm in Cape Breton. And I still feel the call to come home. The main character in the book is a fellow by the name of Alexander MacDonald. And the thing about this book is that there are so many Alexander MacDonalds. The people from Cape Breton weren't very inventive about their names. My father was named John Joseph, his brother was John Alexander, his other brother was John Donald, and his other brother was John Leonard. They weren't very creative, so he ended up using the second name, but that's very much part of the history here. And I guess the reason why I love the book is that it traces the history of these people when they came to Cape Breton in the 18th century and all the different things they had to go through to try to survive. And you lived either in the forests, or you tried to live by farming, or you lived out on the sea. And you get a sense of a family history. And as I mentioned before, when people leave from that place, there's a draw to come back to remember the history and the story. So why would students want to know and want to read something about people from Cape Breton who speak Gaelic? It seems like it's too particular, and it seems like it's too narrow. But I think the truth of it is we all have our histories, whether we're Ukrainian or Polish or Maltese or Italian, and there's a sense that we have our own bit of history and culture that calls us home. And when we read someone else's story about their call to their home, sometimes that particular story reminds us of the calling that we all have and the link that we all have to our own histories, our own families, our own traditions. So in reading this particular story, we're part of a bigger story. That's why I love this book so much. When Alexander is bringing his brother, who's sick, back to the island, to Cape Breton, and he says, out on the island, a neglected freshwater well pours forth in gifts of sweetness into the whitened darkness of the night. Bury the dead, fra tuta danam, peace to a soul. All of us are better when we are loved. And I think that's the whole call when we're being brought back, that we're better when we are connected to each other. We're better when we're loved. That's what this story talks about.